Hello dears, and welcome back to the channel Benidorm by Ana, where we share with you a lot of interesting and useful information about Benidorm town and Spain in general. Today it's time to talk about the latest news update from Spain and our favorite town of all, Benidorm. And there's a lot to talk about. First of all, we'll be speaking a little bit about the situation in Spain, what is happening with the tourism, what's happening at the Alicante Airport, and if there are or there are not any kind of controls any longer in there, because we have new confirmed information coming directly from the Alicante Airport line. Next, we're going to be talking about Benidorm Fiestas that are waiting for us during this weekend. And last but not least, what will be happening during this winter here in Costa Blanca area and in Benidorm as it is, and why there's probably going to be way more British tourists here than usual this year. So stay tuned to get to know all this information, plus the weather update for the upcoming week. First of all, let's talk about the situation in here. I've been talking to Alicante Airport directly, and one of the main questions that I did ask, because all of you are, you know all the information slightly better right now. There is no such huge confusion any longer as when some of the restrictions went away the week or so ago. However, I still wanted to know what is happening in Alicante Airport, because they were saying they were scrapping all the controls. So I really wanted to know if that's true or not. Alicante Airport has confirmed me that they have no controls whatsoever right now, which means that the laboratory that they had there, so all these tables where people were making PCR tests, antigen tests if you did not have any, where they were checking your vaccination status, like all these people with masks and white coatings and white kind of nurses or doctors in there, this laboratory doesn't have any contract longer. Their contract has expired and was not renewed automatically. So everything is over. These tables of controls are over. And also the PCR antigen vaccination controlling points are also no longer available in there. So everything got back to normality, at least in Alicante Airport here in the zone. Also, they're saying that right now even British tourists have more or less 30 minutes less waiting time at the airport, so they're passing all the controls faster than they usually did during all the pandemics, when they needed to present so much paperwork in there. And the main issue is that even though in Spain as it is, there are a lot of airports that don't have these controls, they still can randomly ask you for any kind of paperwork at a passport check, for example, or anywhere at the airport, And the main issue is that when you fly to Spain, even though here we don't have any controls, but back at your country to fly to Spain, they still might ask you for the documents. So it's kind of a twisted, twisted condition to fly to Spain for holidays, because here, it's not necessary at the airport, but it's better for you to have it. Even so, if you don't have any documents and you fly to Spain, and you will be stopped and asked, if you don't have anything, they just make you a fast antigen test, which is just like 10 euros, 15 euros more or less, and that's basically it. And then you're free to go. They're not going to return you in any case back to your country whatsoever. So this is basically the situation right now, at least here in Alicante Airport. In all other regions, I know that in Mallorca as well, they are taking out all these laboratory, all these check out medical controls, because the contracts will not be renewed basically, which is why this is happening. Not because the government feels it's not necessary, but just because they don't want to renew these contracts for months and months more. Maybe it's a yearly contract, who knows? So it's not affordable for them any longer. It doesn't make any sense. So they just took these controls down. This is basically what is going on right now in the country. And the tourism is still alive here, even here in Albir. Today is the last day of September and there is a lot of people. It's crazy to see how many people are walking down the alley, down the beach. There's a lot of people on the beach line today because it's sunny, it's nice, it's still warm, and it's golden summer basically right now here in Benidorm and surrounding area. The second news that I wanted to share with you all comes from Benidorm, of course. A few days ago, last weekend, I've showed you the celebration of Moors and Christian that was happening in Altea. This is a huge deal actually for our region, for all Costa Blanca region, because we were affected a lot with all these changes with the conquerors of this area between Moors and Christians to recover all these lands back again. And these weekends are very, very important for us to celebrate and commemorate the history of this region. So last weekend the celebration was in Altea, which is over right now. Altea is back to normal, but this weekend there's a big celebration in Benidorm. Starts already today on Friday, and it starts this evening at 7:30 p.m. Spanish time at the Municipal Hall Square, where the Park of La Higuera starts, right near the Bristol Hotel. If you don't know where to go, just put Bristol Hotel in Google Maps, and the huge square that we have in there is basically where you need to go. There is a very funny castle there, which is already an object of a lot of jokes and memes right now online, and they even say that it's a castle from Playmobil, which is really comic situation. Actually, this castle is supposed to be a part of a celebration, and it's supposed to be the area where Christians and Moors are reuniting and kind of fighting for the lands. However, it's a true miniature. It's slightly bigger than a normal person is. I'm gonna put you a picture here so that you would know how it looks like. And this year they said that they didn't have any license, and it was not safe to put it in these conditions on the square, so this is why they needed to make a miniature. However, I wonder how they will go inside. It kind of feels like a mini park, you know, mini adventure park, and a lot of people were laughing at it, obviously with a reason. However, this is where the majority of the celebration will be held, and this Sunday, this upcoming Sunday, which will be 2nd of October already, there's going to be a huge parade at 8 p.m. which, as always, as all the parades are, will be starting at the top of Rusafa Street. We'll be going back towards the Bristol Hotel and then down towards the Triangular Square, which is where we have McDonald's, Bingo and Madeira Central Hotel and the new Techno Hit. There is going to be where this parade will finish. They're going to be throwing some confettis, some sweets, and like a lot of fun things for children and adults. This is going to be on Sunday at 8. So all these events, the market at the Dove Park as well, all this will be happening here for the celebration of Moors and Christians. So if you will be here on these upcoming days during this weekend, I would definitely recommend you to at least go to the parade on the finishing day on Sunday, because it's actually something worth checking, and you can make a picture near the fun-sized castle as well during this weekend. So that would be something fun to remember from your Benidorm's holidays. Fiestas are here. Actually, at the end of October, beginning of November, we will have huge fiestas once again, which is when we'll have a lot of fairs, a lot of typical Spanish points with typical Spanish foods and chestnuts. And there's going to be also some parades. It's going to be Benidorm City Fiestas as well. So we're going from one fiesta to the other and kind of non-stop, which is true Spanish spirit, isn't it? The last news that I wanted to share with you all is something that is happening here in Spain in general, but it's kind of a good news for us, not good for a lot of other countries. However, the economic recession, I hope I'm saying it right. If not, I'm going to put you the correct name right here on the screen, but I do think that it's more or less how it's said in English. Don't forget that I'm not English, I'm Lithuanian. I live in Spain for more than 10 years, so I'm allowed to make some mistakes every now and then, you know. And this economic recession that is happening in all entire Europe is giving Spain and Costa Blanca a particular breath of fresh air right now, and especially to our Alicante province. Why? Because this is our touristic destination, kind of as an escape point for a lot of British tourists, surprisingly. Why? Because British tourists right now, for them, let me know if I'm wrong, but this is what Spanish newspapers are saying, that for British, right now with the currency exchange, those of them who are going to Caribbean like zone or towards Turkey, right now it's getting really expensive, the exchange of currency. Which is why a lot of people are thinking once again to going to Costa Blanca, especially knowing that the weather is amazing, the food is amazing, there's a lot of places here to visit, a lot of culture and history to know. It's just amazing place for holidays if you choose your destination point right, knowing exactly what you want to visit and where you want to be. Costa Blanca maintains more or less 40,000 touristic places and hotel places during this winter, which is amazing news. It's even possible that more and more hotels will stay open for a longer period of time during this winter, which is a great news because there's going to be way more hotels to choose from, which means there's going to be way more like in between them like price changes, which might result in a decrease in prices, and it's going to be even cheaper for people to come because there's way more options to choose from, so there's going to be way more competition as it is. And even right now it's expected to have an increase in British tourism, which we already have seen. The last couple of days we've seen a lot more people coming to Benidorm. The streets of the old town of Tapas Alley, of all the center, you know, all the most touristic areas are quite full back again. Even here in Albir, when usually in beginning of October we don't see anyone on the beach, right now the beach is full. Let me show you. Look at this. Right now it's a Friday, as you all know, and this beach area is usually empty during this month, but right now, as you can see, it's quite busy in here, and even all the blue sunbeds are also quite occupied. All the bars, all the restaurants are kind of happy about it. By the way, there is also another great news for the bars and restaurants. The price for electricity started to drop slightly, which, if it's going to be continuing that way, will save a lot of places from closing in Benidorm, in Altea, in Albir, in Calpe, like all areas, touristic areas, especially of Spain. And a lot of places will be able to maintain on flow during this winter. So let's hope it's going to be the case, and a lot of them will survive, and we will not see so many closed bars and restaurants during this winter, which would mean that a lot of you guys will be able to enjoy the meals in your favorite bars and restaurants during the colder months of this year. And now let's talk about the weather. What is waiting for all those of you? Who's that? Anyway, a lot of you guys for coming here to Benidorm town and in general in Spain. Right now the weather is really nice back again. As I've mentioned already previously, the weather is just amazing. Just look at how many people there are on the beach in here, enjoying the Spanish autumn sunshine. By the way, the water temperature is still really nice. It's around 26 degrees. It's slightly less here in Albir. It's warmer in Benidorm, but still it's quite fun to swim. And there's a lot of people actually in the sea right now. The rain is finally over here in the Mediterranean area, as you can see on this first map. And it's not going to be here at least for one more week. So the weather is probably going to be as you can see it right now. Some slight wind, but sunshine with just a minimum amount of clouds. And probably Wednesday, Thursday, it's when some of the rain might appear here in the Mediterranean zone, but not here in Benidorm, hopefully. The temperatures are really nice and comfy. It's around 24 to 27 degrees, depending on the time of the day and of the wind in here. And these temperatures will remain the same during the first week of October. We'll have around 26 degrees first week of October. That's just perfect weather. Right now here it's around 24 to 25. In Alicante 25 degrees, in Barcelona 21, Granada 25, Malaga 27, Sevilla 27, Madrid 21, Murcia 27, Balearic Islands 22, Canarian Islands the typical usual ideal weather of 25 to 27, and Valencia 27 degrees today. This is what is going on in Spain at the end of September, beginning of October. As you can see, really busy, really sunny, nice and warm. This was it for today, my dears. I hope you enjoyed watching today's latest news update from Spain and Benidorm area. Greetings from the lovely village of Albir, and I hope you'll be having an amazing holiday here in Spain if you're coming during the next upcoming days. Hope you'll enjoy the sunshine and the lovely Mediterranean Sea. I'll see you already on Sunday with a new video from Benidorm town during Fiesta of Moros and Cristianos, which is probably going to be really busy and fun. So make sure you stay tuned and we'll see you on Sunday. Bye.